Oh yeah, we're back. We're back. We got kicked off, or we lost our internet temporarily, and it came back. Don't know what's going on. Everything's fine now, though, it says. I think we probably just ate up another notification. Let's see. I'll have to wait till some people get back. Hello, everybody. We had to get out of that room. We had to get up on out of there. Yes, let me say hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. We had an interruption in our network. Well, I told it to. Belinda believes. So, let's pick up where we left off. We're talking about Ninchi's breakdown of... And by the way, I'm happy that she did this video. It's a good video. It needed to be put out there. However, it's an hour and a half long, so this is the breakdown. Excuse me. Look, it's getting warm here in southern Ontario. Warmer. We talked about the introduction of Anita's credibility claims. Now we're on to 3, speculation on Anita's motives. Nchi suggests that there's possible ties to Daniel, working to discredit Cindy and Malaya on his behalf. Yes, that's a thing. Could be linked to earlier anonymous email stories months ago that didn't gain traction until amplified. It's always been a thing, so I mean, it's not a wrong statement. It's always been a thing, right? So, I mean, that's just repeating herself, I think. Might stem from Chrissy Travers, mentioned as possibly originating or sharing similar narratives. That's an interesting statement. DDoS, no. I'm not that important. Suggests a telephone game effect. Stories evolve across people. Derwood Chrissy Anita growing larger but less truthful. Yeah, I can see where she's going with that. That's part of the excitement of trolling somebody's live stream. I mean, the whole fun of trolling somebody's live stream. Well, you should go back and listen. Then Belinda believes. Nobody knows who this person is. She's unimportant. This is the newest character to this nonsense being introduced. Pretending to have inside information, to be a big sister to Cindy with all of this insider information at this point in time, which is nothing but bullshit. Old Anita claims to live between Canada and the USA. She was born in Canada and the husband's a roofer with a business. I don't believe you. I don't fucking believe you. I don't even care. Broader case frustrations reiterated. Content creators like, I think this is where she said Mike, and I don't, we're gonna check, but I don't think that he's pushing unverified information from Anita as fact. I don't get that feeling from Mike. Risk of turning the case into a circus. No, that's just from your perception. Forcing credible creators to withdraw and avoid legal issues and credibility loss. Yeah. I think you're taking yourself a little bit too serious. If you're up here talking about situations like this and you don't know the difference between what is a threat, what is not a threat, what's going to get you into trouble and what's not, that's not anybody's problem but your own. In reality, a person can bring a legal suit against anybody for any fucking reason at any point in time. But again, it's not going to go anywhere, and these people are guilty AF. I mean, you're not recognizing it for what it is. Nobody really needs to be careful in that sense, except for the people under the publication ban, like relaying all of the information that they're talking about in court or the such to their social media would be an example. I mean, it's a slick little trick that they're doing, but it's, the cat's out of the bag now. I mean, it's not too hard for people to figure out who the victim is. It doesn't have anything to do with that. We can still speculate and talk about it. If you're worried that you talking about it is going to somehow mean that you're going to be liable for defamation of some sort, then you're not competent in what it is you're trying to portray in the first place. Are you defaming that person? Exactly. No. Is that your intent? No. Reminder of core facts, which are the kids reported missing May 2nd. Nchi, there's no creator out here. That's just nothing but a troll perspective in that sense. That's something that you throw in somebody's live chat when you want to troll them. Emphasis, let me see. What else does she got here? Yeah, listen, I got to say, it's great information. But the only thing that it's going to do is probably piss off Mike Dammann a little bit. I haven't even heard it yet. And it won't piss him off, but I mean, I don't think he's doing that. He's not portraying. So what she would be referring to are going to be these videos right here. Why did Cindy Murray trade in the car shortly after she left Daniel? Why did Wade move out of Cindy's house, Malaya? Cindy Murray's alleged history of covering up family issues. Please come clean, Haley, maybe. Malaya and Cindy's family secrets. Maybe these three she's saying. I watched them. I thought they were fine. You know, other than the title is, I think, the main piece of the information with the video. I'm like, oh, really? Okay, so Cindy went and traded. So my first question would be, how would, we don't know the finances behind the deal. I thought it was Patty that co-signed for the car. Maybe it was Cindy. I don't know. But there is a question mark. So he's leaving him. That would tell me that he's questioning the suggestion, not making the suggestion. He's not saying it's a fact. Or maybe he is. Actually, we should go listen to it. We're going to listen to that. It's piqued my interest.
Why did Cindy Murray trade in the vehicle of Malaya's? When you ask, well, let me look it up.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Are they saying that he knows this information because of this Anita Johnson gal that's contacted him? I think that's the insinuation. I mean, the RCMP are either interested in the car or they're not. They're not missing out. They're not blindsided, and they didn't recognize the need to maybe forensically go over the vehicles. If they released them, that's on them. I mean, my first guess is that she wants to get rid of everything associated with being with Daniel. She doesn't want to have any memories. She doesn't even want to smell his fucking cheap-ass Aquavelva cologne every time she gets into the fucking car. The kids smell in the car. It's a new car smell. She just got it. Maybe there's still a deal. Maybe she can take it back. It's not too late. But the main question is it even true? It shouldn't be anything else. Is it true or is it not true? Is it worth considering? Is it not worth considering? Is it Amanda Johnson and Derwood and everybody trying to fuck with Mike Dammann? Possibly. Why did Wade move out of Cindy's house? That's interesting. Is that true? See, when I was watching this, I was expecting the person that we know who's legit and not a plant from Derwood or that little group of fucknuts up there who all wear bracelets in support of spreading awareness about Jack and Lily at this point in time. Fucking losers. And that's Wade's daughter. So I'm assuming that, Wade's daughter must be talking to him in the background, right? Why did Wade move out of Cindy's house? Why did Malaya? Is that true? Cindy Murray's alleged history of covering up family issues. It's easy for us to say, but no matter what, at this point in time, I've given it long consideration because I've been mad and not so mad at Cindy all of this time. Like, we'll soon see. But you can only do so much as a parent. She's not doing anything in order to bring justice to Jack and Lily, but that looks a lot different to her than it does to me, as it would. She's between a rock and a hard place. And she chose not to do the right thing, technically, in my opinion. But I don't know everything yet. It's not like we have all of this flow of seemingly endless information, like the nonsense that comes by way of Derwood, Janie, and Daniel. We've got the opposite when it comes to her side of the family. And you have to know that. That's why nobody talks about it there, Janie. You should know that. You know that already. You should do your research. Telling everybody else they need to do their research. As though there's research to be had here. No research to be doing because we have all of the information, you old battle axe. Oh, shit. Do your research, Mike. Do your research. Do your research. Yeah, that's right, Tash. There's obviously been past family issues if Malaya was being raised by Patty and also has half siblings, all spells drama. Right. I mean, in other words, this Amanda is patching together really public information and then pushing it through. It's not anything special. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a background in that sense. Is it relevant to Jack and Lily? Yeah, technically. But directly right now? I don't know. The point is, there's been a big push, and Derwood and Janie and Daniel have been leading it since the get-go. Oh, I can't forget about that Spaz Logan. She's in on this now, too. There's a real need from their part to put all of this on to Malaya, but insinuate it, gaslight people into it, rather than just come out and spill the tea. As in, if you have that sort of knowledge, you group, then you're incriminating yourselves as well. You have a similar problem, and I'm just calling it a problem, or it's not a problem, a riddle for your mind to work out. It's the same as Stacey Wander's situation, trying to walk it back because they didn't give him a deal. By the way, closing arguments in the preliminary hearing were released the other day. It's a fantastic watch. I shared it to my community page. Make sure you go and click on that link and take it in, because it spells out exactly what the district attorney think happened in that sense, which is the juiciest information of all. What are you saying, Mama Bear? That's not Malaya's car. How could anyone forget she has a 2017 white Pathfinder that Daniel drove and kept repeating the make and model of the car every time he mentioned leaving and locking the children? I'm not sure. According to somebody, she traded that car in. I'm not sure what you're saying isn't Malaya's car. That's not Malaya's car? I don't know. I'm not saying it is or it's not. You mean the one on Mike's thumbnail? I'm not sure why he's using that. But Anita's contacting Mike and telling him that she's one person when she's making these contradictions. That sets off alarm bells. Why trade in a vehicle that you've had less than a year? Well, like I just said, there's all kinds of reasons to want to get rid of that 2017 Nissan Pathfinder, but it just so happens that the person getting rid of it has 2 missing kids, and she's lying about everything, and she's hushed up, and her ex is lying about everything, and his mom. So is it even important? I don't know. But he's probably getting fed other information, all that. Come to think of it, he did bring up some questions about these 3 articles of clothing here, something suggestive. He was insinuating that there's information that he's not sharing. Well, don't share it because it's probably false, dude. Way to keep that one back. That's how I know that he wasn't falling for it. Like, he's going through the same old cycle again with the exact same people. You think MBM, hey Anita Benita, you think Malaya is the only girlfriend Daniel left Logan completely alone for? Sorry, but Logan is Danny's crazy possessive ex-cuz girlfriend. Oh, shit. She's fucking something else. What a crazy situation. She's so protective of him. Oh, I'll look after you. You're such a good man in all of this. You're getting treated so poorly. Oh, everybody just doesn't know the truth, Logan. Girl. Oh, sorry, you two. It must be us. It must be everybody else. What did you say happened again? Oh, okay, we'll just take your word for it. We'll just take your word for it there, Danny. Oh, yeah, that's how we do business. We believe you. Oh, there was nothing worth remembering? Oh, okay. Yeah, we understand, buddy. Fucking idiots. I don't know what it is. What the problem is that people don't know how to bring things to an end in that sense, especially when it comes to this. Oh, it's just such a mystery. There's no fucking mystery. These people are lying. When you know that they're lying, you can treat it in your mind. Oh, should be a more accurate way if you don't let too many kooks in and consider all of the information they get up in your DMs about. She was holding his coat for him and put it on in court. What? Oh, now you're bringing me some juicy information. Oh, yeah. You're telling me Logan put Danny's coat on? Probably to get her scent on. Well, we're getting into mating season. Probably to rub her scent all over it. Oh, yeah. Man, he doesn't even have a washer. Oh, I really like your laundry detergent. Oh, shit. Logan and Danny had many lonely nights, thinking about one another in their beds. Well, Danny's up all night. He's crossed that threshold long ago. Nerdy girl, what's up? Logan. Oh, shit. Okay. Well, what's he saying? Fucking trying to sell me a Kia for whatever reason.
Just how trashy the people involved actually are. That's something that I suspected from day one. And I gotten a little bit too used to this case, where I really, it became harder to believe what I actually looked at. Who are those people? Where do they
Yeah, man. Hard to believe. Fucking right.
find them? Are they real? Well, they are real. Believe it or not. I mean, it's absolutely mind-blowing. Mind-blowing how normalized certain behavior is in certain parts of the world. Where, yeah, it's absolutely mind-blowing. And yes, this is Cindy's car, one of her two cars.
Yeah, he said it's Cindy's car.
And
Who was in my chat? He said in that Cindy's car, not Malaya's.
there are other things than Malaya. What about the 3 items that were found in your laundry room? You know,
Yeah. So, what about those 3 items that were found in your laundry room? Malaya's laundry room or Cindy's laundry room? And that information, Mike, where did you get it from? Did you get it from this Anita Johnson? Because if you did, it's probably sourced right back to Derwood, Janie, and Daniel. Their little crew of cocksuckers. Those bastards. Those dirty rats. The ones that love to end up in your inbox. Not just yours, everybody's inbox. At one time or another.
know what I'm talking about. What about let me see.
Yeah, you think that Mike was... you said Mike was asleep? Mike sounds half asleep. So if he said MBM card, could be why. Oh, yeah, he's making mistakes. Tired. Oh, I almost considered it.
My notes here.
So Mike's got notes. So those 3 articles, you got to question that one, Mike. I'm glad he didn't share that.
And by the way, Wade no longer lives over there. Wade is living with his sister now.
Is that true? How could we verify that? Almost have to ask Wade's daughter. I have to do some follow-up with Wade's daughter. That's where I was thinking he was getting information from, was Wade's daughter. I just took advantage that it was just one, or took for granted that it was just one person.
And Wade found something.
What did Wade find?
That Malaya,
Look, him and Malaya, how long were they together? I wonder. And just all of a sudden they split up after Tint's revealing inside information. What did you think that he really gave up there? It's probably a little bit more detailed than she would have liked. I don't think that it was any reason to break up over, but you never know. It probably had a major impact, considering how Malaya is clammed up. Like, no matter what, you don't have to talk. You can represent yourself in a normal fashion. It doesn't seem like the attitude of Malaya after May the 3rd aligns with a parent who was desperate for the RCMP's help on May the 2nd, enough to the point, out of instinct, to call them and report her kids missing and lie to them on dispatch. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't align with the need to call the RCMP. Something else happened. Daniel was overcompensating. He was trying and doing too much for his behavior in the moment to align with the kids walking away, because, of course, he's out there searching nonstop. Like a madman.
Oh, Mom, did you see this? Yeah, you left it in the laundry. 3 items. Ring a bell, Malaya? Well, I tell you what, this is not going to go away. Including the act. And supposedly Daniel was filming a lot of things, meaning including the act that he is now being accused of in court.
So I guess we're going to have to bring this one up into question. There's Mike's link below. You're telling, or somebody's telling Mike Dammann that Daniel filmed the SA. Daniel allegedly, filmed the SA. Who's telling him that? Who's telling him that? And how do they know? So, is this Amanda Johnson telling you this shit?
And supposedly Daniel was filming a lot of things, meaning including the act that he is now being accused of in court. And evidence, well, it doesn't mean that Malaya necessarily wants to go.
So here's the thing. That sounds like a publication ban type thing to me. Do you know what I mean? That's the type of thing, Mike, that they're talking about when they say there's a publication ban. That would be information that's shared in the courthouse, and I'm not sure how they would know that at this point in time in the preliminary. Okay, nobody's been put in a position. They haven't read the charges out. They haven't laid anything out. Okay, so there's really not a whole lot to share. But when there's a publication ban, and that would be the type of thing. So I guess that's a shot. So that's your practice shot. So it seems like maybe that's what Ninchi was talking about. Maybe that's what that she was referring to, excuse me, stretching, when she was referring to trying to set certain creators up in order to make them look bad by planting and giving them and getting them into believing things that, you know, they picked up through their conversations and things, or even gaslighting to the point where you could get them into a possible charge later on. You have to be fucking stupid, but it doesn't mean that they won't try. Do you know what I mean? Maybe that's what she was referring to. I can't verify that, obviously, because I wasn't in the courtroom. I wasn't in there, but I know enough to know that we're not at that point to know things like that yet. So it sounds like somebody's telling him, like, how would they know? This Amanda Johnson chick wants you to think that she's in such a close relationship with Cindy, yet turns around and talks about her in certain ways that are contrary to speaking out on behalf or even sensitive to the situation that's going on. It's quite the opposite.
Well, it doesn't mean that Malaya necessarily wants to go through with it. And especially, she doesn't necessarily want to go to court and be on the stand. Can you imagine Malaya up on the stand? Oh, well, he, you know, there is more, and there's more, and there's more, and there's more. And I frankly don't know where to begin. I don't know where to begin because, well, I learned quite a bit about Malaya and Hayden's actual upbringing and the type of abuse that both of you allegedly suffered, Malaya and Hayden. And
so who is getting in Mike's head and telling him about the abuse that Malaya suffered and Hayden? Why would they be wanting to do that? Almost sounds like Mike's believing this shit. No, he's just questioning it. I got faith.
And you allegedly holding your mama accountable for it, being very angry with her. And mind you, Malaya is 10 years older than her stepbrother, Hayden. And, you know, at what point in your life, at what age did you allegedly start abusing substances, Hayden? You know, I would love to talk to you. I would love to talk to you about the blanket and what time did you actually get there, right? And Emma, and you know, you have a, well, let me say it like this. Your then 16-year-old girlfriend, who may still be 16, but is no longer your girlfriend. I'd be interested in talking to her as well.
Wrong. Wrong thing to do. It's a 16 and 17-year-old child you shouldn't be interfering with. Why the fuck is it that the person would even go around and tell somebody else about somebody else's business like that? What is it that they want to communicate with you? What's the point? Mike, you need to erase whoever's telling him this bullshit. Be very careful. Hayden's like 17, dude. Hayden's like 17. Got a 16-year-old girlfriend. They're kids. No, do not contact me. Don't get in contact me. You know, go to the RCMP. Ask for their victim services. Okay? Don't contact me. he's getting carried away. He's getting carried away and wanting to find out information. That's all. It's cool. I'm not only holding it against him.
Because little by little, I'm going to air more and more of the information that's been coming my way that I deem credible. And yes, it was Cindy's car. She traded it in.
Information that's coming your way that's credible. If you can't share the source, and you need to keep it anonymous, and you need to be careful in this circumstance, specifically in this case, there's a major problem. You're probably being lied to, misled, even with a little bit of the truth. They can feed you a little bit of the truth and enough, because no matter what, they know more about all of this and their relationship, Malaya and Cindy, than the public does. So they're allowing you in to knowing what it is that they know under the guise of feeding you fucking like new information where it makes you feel just stimulated AF. Don't fall for this shit, Mike. Don't fall for the people coming to you telling you that they have all of this information. Like a lot of the things like this that people go through in their history, some of the stuff that you're hearing may be true. But why is it being fed to you, and why is it being told in a certain way? Especially you. They're contacting you because why? Because you're creating content. And you can be a tool for them by proxy. That's why. That's primarily the only reason. Everybody else needs to go to the RCMP. And if they are going to go public with some groundbreaking piece, then unfortunately, YouTube isn't the first choice. What would be effective about that if it's so groundbreaking and shattering? Otherwise, you're choosing to spread misinformation no matter how much you believe the source. I'll tell you right fucking now that we've exposed every one of the sources that you have so valiantly protected all along the way under the guise of that's just the right thing to do. They've taken advantage of you with that. Unfortunately, this is black and white. There's no fucking gray area here. If the information is legit and valid, we should be hearing it through the RCMP. You know, the time for that honeymoon phase when a crime like this gets committed and a situation evolves like it has with Jack and Lily, there's a time frame where that type of garnering of information is okay. Not when it's 10 months in. So what it sounds like and it looks like that's going on is that he's being manipulated with little pieces of the truth of Malaya and Cindy, who have chosen not to speak their rights, to exercise their rights and not speak to the media. Well, it's not about speaking to the media, it's about not speaking to the RCMP. But we can't verify that anymore. All right? That's why it's not worth pursuing. So you're going to get fed little bits of the truth by the people who have it out for her and have since day one. In fact, they had it out for her so much that they killed her kids, Mike. So they feed you a little bit of the truth in order to go and be convinced enough to be where we are now and considering it for a greater audience and its tangible and how tangible it is to the case. And trying to make sense of it. You've just been manipulated. That's how easy it is. No fucking way. There's no fucking way anybody's coming to you with information about anything in this situation that you can put yourself in your position, nor should you want to be in that position. This is all about two missing children. It always has been, and we don't need to deviate far from it in order to stretch out any theories. We know who's responsible. Yeah, everybody's got something you can hold against them. Their family isn't perfect, but essentially what you're being proxy or being a tool to proxy to, or abuse by proxy, excuse me, is an extension of what it is that they've been doing all along. And that doesn't mean that you have to excuse Malaya. She's at fault, I'm sure, in all of this, but we need more information. We don't need that now. We can be comfortable in knowing that it's there and it will be coming based off of what the other two suspects on the scene have said in the way that they've behaved. We know that they're hiding. There is only one thing to be lying about in all of this. If she did get rid of her car, fuck, you want to get rid of all of that too. It's like sleeping in the bed. It's like people getting rid of their mattresses after deaths. Some people want to get rid of the memory, the scent, the smell when they move on. It's part of the process, breaking cycles. And there's no doubt in this situation that Daniel specifically is the primary abuser in this relationship. Is there abuse going on by way of Malaya? Probably, but we don't know yet. It's not worth talking about, Janie. It's not worth talking about considering we're specifically looking at you guys and your abuses. There's no need. There's no need to be distracted and diverted by what it is you want us to believe Malaya and Cindy have done and did in all of this. Nobody's going to walk away from this looking very good because everybody's lied. It feels like an extension of Daniel's aggression and anger towards Cindy he expressed to us, even back through the documents and in different ways, about their confrontation after the ambulance, for example. It's an extension of the hands-on fight that occurred the first day at the end of the driveway, or was it the second day? I think it was the second day. Joanna, yeah, there's a lot of reasons she would want and you need to get rid of her car. Do you want to know the first one that doesn't seem very nice? The fact that there's no kids left to get a baby bonus every month. She's got zero income. How about that? She's got no job, no fucking income, and she's paying for insurance and a fucking car payment? I doubt it. There's my first guess. She's not collecting any baby bonus or anything from Meadow, and obviously not for Jack and Lily. We don't know if their decisions were right, were wrong. We know very little about what Cindy and Malaya did other than what was documented in those the paperwork that was released in July, in the summer. I think it was July. There's a reason why Malaya is silent. It has everything to do with the exact opposite of not being associated with anything to do with telling the RCMP something false or pushing this false story. That's where this is all going to break down and begin, if I had to take a guess. Because everything that stands out to you and I stands out to the investigators. And guess what? They're in a position where they can act on behalf. They can follow up, because why? That's their job. We can speculate and talk about it. In this situation, there's so much deception, it could only indicate their culpability. There shouldn't be anything that's too far out. There shouldn't be anything that distracts people from that truth, that reality, that blatant statement. They've lied every step of the way. They've lied about everything, which for an investigator in theory trying to figure out the guilty parties in all of this is a big boost, solving the rest of it. Everything else is just semantics and game playing and trying to get the truth out from the last three people to see Jack and Lily alive. And however that long that takes, they're going to do it and build rapport, and they're going to put the pieces together, and then they're going to act, and then they're going to move. Well, guess what they've done already with the little bit of information that they've got from them? They've pieced enough together to charge this dumbass with 3 very serious crimes, which is going to paint a more accurate picture of the living conditions where Jack and Lily were subjected to. Considering daily if they're guilty or innocent, or who, like, I mean, Janie, Malaya, and Daniel. Guilty of what? There's so many different things that are crimes in of itself through this situation. The incident is just the beginning. We don't need any new important information coming from people who are convincing creators that they have an inside way in this is relevant. It's only relevant to the abuse and a continuation as to what Daniel was doing. Fuck, I almost sound like Holly Jolly in my comments about me the other day. I'm not even mad at Mike. It's just a wake-up call to creators out there. For those who are creating, for those who are thinking about it, for those who don't know.
Kilometers from her house. So Amherst is 110 kilometers from Truro, but that's not what I'm actually that interested in. I'm interested in the upbringing of...
So, okay. So circling back around to number 1, there was... So this Anita Maxwell Johnson, that's her name, is it? Yeah, well, she's full of shit. You can know... Daniel knows so much about the nature of the relationship. He can feed somebody with a few facts and they can make it look like they're, a friend or somebody in cahoots that really wants to speak out on behalf due to their silence. Now think about who that benefits the most. Oh, this Anita's full of shit. Mike, lose these motherfuckers. So that's what she was talking about. So it's... Mike didn't say anything wrong. Which is funny. He's not saying anything wrong. It just sounds like he's under the guise... Mike shut down all his comments, refused to take any more emails. Now he's opened it back up again. He must have decided to communicate again. Oh, fuck, Mike. You don't have to do that. Don't listen to these SOBs, Mike. Not at all. The information that you're going to be getting that's going to be coming out about Cindy is going to be sourced from Janie, Daniel, Kent, Derwood, and their little happy club of friends up on Facebook who love to sit and troll people's live streams and comment sections after the fact with things like what is there a thing like, oh, go over and look at Hidden in the Fog. It's some new information and some new clues that just dropped. New fucking clues. What you're up here making content. People are considering it to be like Blue's Clues in a game to figure out. That person's in the wrong fucking place. Instaban. Sock account. AKA people with narratives to push. And it all comes out as one. I knew there was something up with those bullshit Jordan messages. That was just an icing on the cake. That's a real giveaway, Mike. A real giveaway. In my opinion. Mr. Mathematics is starting to realize he's in big trouble. You think so, Fred? I think he's been known since May the 1st. What a bizarre fucking scenario these people have created. Do you know what's interesting? Do you know what's interesting about everything that stupid idiot Darren and Janie and that crew have come out with? They talk and introduce everything except the reality to everybody else in the room. You never ever talk about the obvious, glaring, blatant points that work against Janie and Daniel and everybody. You don't even acknowledge your space in the universe accurately. It's all pretend. You don't represent the situation at all. It's all somebody else's problem, somebody else's fault. Wait a second, didn't you just tell us the kids walked out into the bush? Possibly autistic. Told you they're possibly autistic. Brutal. What I can't get over is how many lowlifes will circle themselves around Daniel in that sense. It's fascinating to me. People like Logan, nasty ass old cow. Fucking idiot. Yeah, in the stage of those Jordan messages were over the top. They're meant to be. They're meant to be. Oh, look at how trustworthy I am, Mike. I don't see Mike as pushing it, because he is a little bit, he's believing it a little bit, it seems like, but he's not. But you know what? He's walking that fine wire, that line. It's like, listen, because a person doesn't just turn around and go and dox this Anita Johnson if you believe her and you want to protect her in that sense. So he's sharing the messages and it's source right there. Don't even get baited into that nonsense. Kiki and Wade should come talk to AB, please. Kiki. Oh, yeah, Kiki's Wade's daughter. Yeah, I'd talk to him. Certainly, I'd talk to both of them. And especially if Wade's not with Cindy anymore. I'd pay for breakfast. Can I get you lubed up? You want a back massage? I'll make it happen. Let me get someone to rub your feet if you want, while you interview me. Or I interview you, excuse me. Yeah, that would be an interesting conversation. That would be my first choice. If you had to ask me to go and travel and interview, I would go and talk to Wade. He is such a great interview. That is such a great conversation. That boy would talk for hours. Talk all day. All about just how shitty Daniel is. You imagine having that? That's gold. That's like troll gold. We all know how guilty you are. We're not looking for any secret bullet, man. We just want to hear stories about how scummy he is from somebody that knows him. That's the magic. That's the fun. That's the fun part. Don't like this game where people, especially in a YouTube content creating perspective, like to think or pretend that they have more important information. Not saying that doesn't always happen like that. That they have pertinent information when it's being fed to them by sources that must remain anonymous in this sense. And there's it's like claiming you're a Navy SEAL in that sense. It's bad. It's wrong. It's poor practice. I want to hear from Wade and Kiki. They are out to protect MBM or pretend she was such a great mom. Oh, Anita, exactly. See, that's what I hold against Cindy in that sense, is the fact that the things that they should be talking about should be out in the open regardless. It's the only thing it's doing is protecting Daniel and Janie, child killers. And you're prioritizing you ahead of what's right in all of this scenario, no matter what. And I hold that against them because you can. It's not just my curiosity that I want to know. It's about doing the right thing. And when you hear Wade coming out with all of this information relevant, well, you have to hope that he opened up to the RCMP in that matter. That's all you can ask for, right? You don't need to feel motivated to then go and throw salt on the wound. Like Wade shared more than enough information in that where you could probe into any part of those questions. Most relevant would be the Easter weekend. There's all kinds of questions around that Easter weekend and the months leading up and the events and the financial situation. He was privy to all kinds of information. Yeah, I want to hear from Wade too. Kiki, that's his daughter, right? Kiki? Yeah, she's cool. She was cool, but no, she can be herself. She's fine. I was going to critique her, but I don't want to. I can't remember what it was. That's why. I can't remember what it was. She went too far with something. I just don't remember it. Unimportant. Irrelevant. You're more upset at M? Julia's saying, I'm actually more upset at Malaya. And Malaya could bring all of this to an end right away. It bothers me. We know that they're not opening up, that they haven't opened up, and they're not doing the right thing and talking every hour based upon what her idiotic, stupid ass fucking representatives, their Malaya's managers, say to people. Quit trying to make child murder relatable and a positive thing. No, fuck no. She's quite the opposite of a good mom, nerdy. She's still hushing up to save her own hide over two of her kids. How are you going to go and call her a good mother? How's anybody going to call her a good mom? Get fucked. First of all, Belinda is only speaking because she's looking for some sort of positive thing to say about the situation, to help distance herself in an appropriate manner. She's not opening up. And who knows? She doesn't know anything in that sense. It's not her fault. And she only sees Malaya through one lens in that sense. She knows Malaya, and she wouldn't know the other Malaya. Do you know what I'm saying? Kind of like your in-laws don't know you a certain way. There's a certain disconnect. If you were innocent, you would take accountability for your shortcomings. Oh shit, pretty much right away in this situation, Anita. And there's none of that going on. They called the RCMP. They've stated 3 bold lies they contradicted. And then they took off. Never to be seen again. And they're not speaking. So, put that on your checklist. You put that on your checklist from the mother. Something other than what they told the RCMP happened. Why do you think that is? Because they lied. Why would they lie in a situation where 2 of their kids are seemingly missing? We want to consider them missing. They're not missing, they're murdered. And even if Malaya was under duress, leaving there, and she had to deal with it a certain way, and it looks a certain way in front of the camera, she's had all the time in the world to straighten things out because she's in a safe space. She's in a safer place. There's no excuse to push the false narrative. In fact, you should be championing justice in this sense. She's not interested in justice. You don't have to feed me with any inside fucking information to tell me that she's a poor mom, she's a piece of shit. And it's far past the too late point. Like her mistakes were already made in all of this. And her silence speaks everything to police. Now, the thing is it's hard not to associate Cindy in all of that because when you put it together in your mind, you want to feel that Cindy's trying to enable on all of that. I just don't know if she is or not. I can't say for sure she's doing all of that shit. But it's not her. It's not, at the end of the day, it's not her decision. You can't make somebody do something that they don't want to do in that sense. And then what are you supposed to do? So it doesn't sound like Malaya's had a stable upbringing her entire life. Patty's an alcoholic. Cindy has problems, probably the same sort of problems that Malaya has right now, minus the murderous allegations. Right. You're looking at an issue. You know, they're not going to be the first ones and they're not going to be the last ones. It's a contributing factor as to why, one, she's chosen silence and she's not the type of person. Like, first of all, you were never a good mother if you choose to lie in this situation to save your own ass, to avoid punishment, accountability, and wanting everybody else to think that your children just up and left. Even your closest friends. You're maintaining this lie to everybody that you know, Malaya. And you're putting that on everybody else in your immediately making them villains, making them absorb all of the negative energy. You're making Cheryl look like a piece of shit. You're having all of these people believe all of these falsehoods blindly without actually knowing. They're giving you the benefit of the doubt because that's what you're begging for. It doesn't matter. I'm sure Wade agrees with what we're saying. Cindy probably agrees to a degree. Like, this situation with Jack and Lily, it doesn't matter about your background because the only thing that we should presume is other people, care about kids in that sense, have children's best interest at heart. To assume that's foolish, though, isn't it? We have a whole bunch of individuals here, handfuls, that are enabling and most likely a part of the conspiracy to cover up, aiding and abetting, an accessory after the fact. No matter what, says Anita, your environment, upbringing was you choose different for your children. I see what you're saying. In my opinion, a mistake is one thing, but 2 years of abuse, neglect, and homicide is not a mistake. It was a choice. Well, the more that we get to know about this situation, the situations, the worse it's going to look. It's not going to all of a sudden look a whole lot better. It's going to look a whole lot more mind-blowingly worse. If anything, I think Malaya wouldn't have considered any place a real home other than Patty and Cindy on her phone. You know, there's no mom or dad to call. There's no home to go run back home to. Not one that you feel welcome because you're at contention or at odds with the other person because you just ripped them off. You stole from them. And you're not admitting. You're not really admitting to truths about what's going on in your life. You're a willing participant in the abuse because your mind can't differentiate between what's healthy and what's toxic. And there's that risk level here. And that risk level is almost certainly a factor because of the 2 weeks that they knew one another before you moved her into Patty's house. Moved Dan into Patty's house. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? It's so unbelievable, Julia. You're right. This is so unbelievable that nobody is telling the truth or cared for them properly. Right. They want to admit, really, what Daniel's doing is admitting that there was neglect there. But he's got a real misconstrued perception of the law and how it relates to him when it comes to Jack and Lily. Oh yeah, Malaya really fell off when Meadow was born. So they're indicating to you that the neglect that you're asking about really began after Meadow was born. So they're admitting neglect, but they're overlooking the fact that Daniel and Janie are contributors to all of that, and it comes out in their language. They tell us. Not to mention, yeah, you are. It's not all Malaya's. You're telling us that it's all Malaya's responsibility. Child rearing is all of her responsibility. And you're in a place where you can, what are you, her manager? You're a supervisor, shift supervisor? As opposed to a partner or a romantic interest or a step parent, as you're putting yourself to be. You're claiming you are, Daniel. You're the step parent. That's your responsibility as well. That's not describing a situation where your roles adapted, your roles changed to accommodate a third child. Your third child, you're complaining about it? You're complaining that things fell off after the third? Come on. Oh, well, that's too bad. Your mom's not your mom's not paying attention to you kids anymore. Could you imagine? What are you sitting there at the table telling them that? First of all, what does that mean? Well, explain in detail, you guys, into that. Give me some for examples. All these things that were Malaya's responsibility in the household. What were your responsibilities? They're not even depicting an accurate account of a typical live-in arrangement or relationship. They're pointing blame as priority over really expressing to you their living situation in an attempt to avoid any sort of suspicion of revealing the real issues and the problems that they were having, far aside from the financial problems. People have financial problems. Yeah, it's a contributing factor, but there's some people that work through it, that make it through. You know why? Because they have a plan. Neither of them wanted to work. They weren't motivated. They're motivated to get high and fuck. Film it. Well, I better not say that. Yeah, just a clapping seal. This is, imagine that all happening on your own property. Blaming the mother from the RV that children are going hungry and dirty when they're just 10 feet away. Right. Like the Good Samaritan law. Oh, just letting her know I'm a wonderful person. Anita, JM was all up in what was going on in the trailer. She didn't care, though, that Jack and Lily were being hurt. Right. Because they're not her grandkids. They're not her responsibility. Right. That says it all. That's how she treated them. Second class. They treated them as people who were imposing on her. Intruders. Daniel couldn't even do the raking for Janie, his elderly mother with a heart condition, all while squatting on her property in her trailer. That's a good point, Ilyanka. That's a good point. What was Danny doing while old Janie was raking? That's some heavy work there. For a person who claims to have a heart condition. Sure you don't have a broken heart? Is that the same heart who wasn't even able to complete the polygraph examination? How is it we're supposed to trust your heart when it won't even take a polygraph? What a fucking weirdo. Well, I've been doing a lot of listening to my heart lately, Janie. What a fucking bizarro weirdo. What are they fucking hiding? Got a feeling that there's more to this. Feel like there's more to this. We don't need speculation or any fancy, in my DMs tried claims for answers. Guys lie like fucking sex offenders. Well, wouldn't you know Daniel is almost a sex offender? You hear that, Jordan? I was right. Michelle, good to see you. Hey, finally, I did get the last live notification. You missed it. Well, don't worry about that. That was just previous to this one. I got cut off. No worries. JM doesn't have a heart. She's an empty shell, in your honest opinion. I wish we could put like 10 more RCMP investigators on this to help speed the process up. JM, heart of mold, not gold. That's a good one, Anita Benita. All fault points to DM. Yeah, it does, Fred. Yep. Let me see. What else is there? What else did Mike come up with? Let's see if this one's good. This one's good. This one's good. Please come clean. Haley, Malaya, and Cindy's family secrets. Let's do this one.
led up to it is about not only figuring out what happened with Jack and Lily, but what else led up to it. What led up to Jack and Lily disappearing. These kids were not buried.
Like that's why what you were saying. You probably saw the pictures of Daniel Martel and his father was on the ATV.
Yeah, you never had that before?
Everything
I never seen that ATV before.
Yeah, before everything in this place was kind of messy, but just the ATV is so fucking clean.
I wonder how far they searched.
On the ATV.
Yeah, you know, I never had that before.
Picture of Daniel and his father or his brother on the ATV.
I never seen that ATV before.
Yeah.
So,
you know, you get the child or the kid checks.
Yeah, I know the milk money.
They're ripping them off.
hey guys, so I really don't know where to begin. But
So that's why I give it credibility. You're telling me Wade is pretty confident when he told Tint that they ripped the child tax benefit off. Daniel did for about $34,000. All of that went to the Rugs. All of it. Fuck me. He's so confident about what Daniel did and all of that. Think about the information that Wade has. That's got to be factual. Absolutely. He knows how much it was and what he did. There's only one way you can do it in that sense. That's to claim. I'm surprised they didn't come after him for that. To go out of your way and fill out the benefit sheet regardless. The kids never stopped getting benefits. You apply for a change of address. Oh, my mistake. Whoops. Oh, shit, Daniel. And he let that go down. Yeah, that's going to affect things. But for whatever reason, he avoided filing his taxes. Like, this is the stupidest thing fucking ever. You're avoiding paying your taxes. Why? All you had to do was put a big zero in there and file them. Put a big zero in there and press send in order to be on file with the government. Like, there's really nothing preventing you from doing that. And it turned around, and look at how much it affects things. Because of their living status with Malaya, they're holding back the monthly child tax benefit, their main source of income, until Daniel gets that rectified. Like, you would think that you would do it that particular day. It would only take you 10 minutes. You can download Intuit or do it through the internet. Like, it'd take you all of 5-10 minutes to rectify. And they sent you out letters. That tells me that he's ignoring all of this. Like, these aren't, like, aside from the fraud, they're not hard problems to rectify. Issues. They come up with everybody. Because people who get together, you're not the first person. It's not a difficult thing to adapt to. You got a letter in the mail, so do what it says. Who cares? What is it you're hiding? It's not like you have millions of dollars in Panama or offshore bank accounts. Well, it's so beyond me. It's beyond me as to how they let things get. That's the type of negligence going on in their house. Yeah, addict problems, Jonah. Yeah, I hear you. You could have done it over your phone while you're taking cock shots. While you were macking out chicks on Facebook dating behind Malaya's back, you could have did your taxes for the year. 0. But it wouldn't have been 0. It wouldn't have been 0, so he's missing out on money. Fucking idiot. What an idiot. You're missing out on free drugs, bro. Oh, shit, River Rat. We might not be related. We might live in other countries, but I'd venture many of us have lost more sleep worrying about these babies than the 3 adults that were supposed to protect them. Yeah, I think so. I think you're getting... that sounds about right, River Rat. That's not a stretch. That's sad. Callie, everything was coming out, and DM most likely blamed Jack and Lily on top of the finances. MBM was taking all of his benefits, recipe for disaster. Well, listen, here's their problems. Well, we're identifying, we don't have problems, per se. We just need to recognize that there might not ever be a good, clear answer for the rationale why. We can recognize and see all of the problems, all of the red flags, the contributing factors. And I guess whatever makes you sleep at night for that particular day, in that sense. But this is probably what they're avoiding really getting in touch with. So there's a few questions to answer here. What happened to Jack and Lily? Who knew what when? And who has all assisted in destroying evidence, disposing of evidence, and continuing to choose to comfort the guilty parties, the principal, and continuing the conspiracy. Derwood. All dirty Derwood. Back again for another. What an idiot that guy is. That's so funny. Heaven forbid you talk about the case as it should. Heaven forbid that you see life for how it is, Derwood. Why are you so, so determined to spread disinformation when there's 2 dead children involved and they're missing? That says everything people need to know about the type of person you are, Chomo. You hear that, Jordan? J-Dog. Old J-Rock. What a bitch. Danny is an idiot moron tweaker. That's right, Callie. As the case gets closer to trial, this Anita person will disappear. Good call, Fred. This Anita person. I knew there's something up with this. I had the question, but I didn't care. I was too laughing too much at Jordan's messages. Fuck. It's bait. Oh, and even Jordan said in his messages, "Oh, go and post this. I know you will." It's like you're like, he's encouraging her to go and post this. He's trying to get a message out to Mike Dammann and everybody. They're all up there, acting out, we'll call it. And wouldn't you know it, that's everything else is going on at the same time too. It's all sourced from Derwood and his little gang of happy fruitcakes up there in Facebook. They love to read all of your messages and keep an eye over all of the little groups. Yep. Oh yeah. Yes, we're going to help spread awareness about Jack and Lily. Oh, yeah, our Kent. Oh, great. There's no excuse if Malaya's seen how bad the rug problem and money ding-dong. Time to go. Lori Green, great comment. She told Belinda that she knew the day before she went in to give birth to Meadow that Daniel was on hard rugs daily. That's when it came to light. That tells me she's probably lying. Why? Because she's a liar. So we're just taking it as her knowing. Who cares about when it was? She's putting 15, 18 months to it. It's probably before that. But it just goes to show that it didn't bother her. It must not have bothered her all that much. It was her job to put up with it? No, see, that's one of those things. That's usually an unconditional, a deal breaker with relationships. Not here. Why? Yeah, like she just found out. Yeah, it had to have been longer, Lori. It's not important that, you know, she's telling us that she knew about it. That's what's important. Herpwood is so invested and like a roach keeps coming back. The only reason I can see is if he or his son Jordan were directly involved, River Rat. Yeah, you see that? We saw that a long time ago. Well, could very well be. Probably has to do with evidence, the destruction of. Maybe they're involved in some sort of criminal enterprise in the back that's not very, incentivizing, we'll say. Maybe they're all uploading gay porn with one another, filmed out of the bus in the back of Derwood's or Jordan's mom's place. Jordan's mom's related to Kent. Derwood's ex-wife's related to Kent. That's so hard to believe. Now we know the link. It's amazing how you guys just couldn't admit to that right away, if that's true. That's something that was going around that I heard. Who knows if it's true? Who cares? But yeah, you're right. This goes far beyond common sense, reason, far beyond concerned. It's intentional. And they love to do it because they love to think that it's not illegal. It even comes out of Malaya's mouth. She mentioned that. Well, in fact, when it comes to this situation, it is, and it's going to be, because all of it is going to be used against you. Mm-hmm. So you could consider it illegal. Lying's not illegal. Fuck, you do it enough. But it's the acknowledgement of these things that are important, not exactly the words that they're saying or what they want you to understand that they're saying. These people aren't coming at you with truth or reality or anything. This is why what makes Wade's statement so powerful. MBM telling Haley as if her life's a movie. What? She said that to Haley? He told me the day I went into labor. That's just to milk sympathy as if she has no control over anything. Yeah, it's well into the distancing language. You know, think about that distancing language and how much of a red flag it is, Michelle, because she's been doing it since the get-go. You know, she used the word may, for example. You look back in the dispatch statement that she called the RCMP with in the paperwork. She told the RCMP that the kids may have left the trailer. They possibly have autism. They're known to wander. She goes on to tell the world that she didn't even go and look herself. She just instinctually called the RCMP to report her kids missing. She's never actually gone out to look for them. Wow, that's amazing. It sounds like a mother who's lost her kids. You sound like the exact opposite to a mother who's lost and looking for her kids, Malaya. You're implying that everybody else has done that for you, like Daniel. Well, Daniel's also come up with this bullshit story, honey. She's distancing right from the beginning of all of this. This isn't it, Callie? This is the dumbest scripted narrative ever. This is so stupid. You guys are lying. Who cares about the words that you've said? You guys have lied since the get-go. Well, why would you be lying? And when it gets a little hot, you want to point blame over to Malaya. Unnecessary. Oh, if there is any lies, it's all Malaya. Come on. What I don't get is both DM and MBM have shown they'll spill on each other. I don't understand why either haven't spilt the beans on who did what with those poor children. VB, that's kind of what we're talking about. I'm with you. I guess it's indirectly a summary of our questions as well. That you can hold against Malaya. The easy answer for all of that is that they're trying to avoid prosecution. They're trying to avoid the criminality aspect of it applying to their life and the restriction it has on their freedom. They've opted to lie their way out of this. In the worst way possible. Mike said that Wade had moved out of Cindy's. I wonder what else he knows and if he'll speak out. Yeah, Wade. Yeah, Mike said that. I'm not sure if that's true, but we'll assume it's true for the time being. Maybe Kiki told him that. I don't know. But I'm sure Kiki will update him if it's not true, I would think. So we'll wait to see if that is true. But it will have everything to do with this situation. This situation would weigh on your relationship, especially for a person so talkative as Wade, but he also seemed to have the right sort of mindset. Like that's all she needs is Wade finding a backbone and going in and filling in the RCMP. I think he should. I honestly, I think he has. Everything that he's told Wade, the RCMP know as well. He was on the polygraph. He was there being questioned. Why would he be deceptive in those questions when he's being so forthright and open with tint? Right? So let's make you feel better, I think. Like Wade is not a person you would describe as having anything to hide. The exact opposite, baby. This is like an investigator's wet dream. And you don't need to hear it more than once. You don't need explanation. It was perfect. It was the right moment. But I get it. It doesn't make sense. You say a clapping seal if they would all defend each other, but we don't have all of the info. Someone could be singing. Yeah, you're right. Well, not in that sense. Well, we don't know. We don't know. But I wouldn't necessarily draw that conclusion. I would have to say from an investigator's standpoint, if somebody was to up and spill the tea like Malaya should, then the next thing you do is go and arrest fucking everybody based off of your new testimony and bring them in and proceed. They wouldn't be free. It wouldn't be, oh, now your story checks out. So now the truth would need verification in that sense. So it might take a little bit. You know, there's always complications, isn't there? So no matter what, it's going to need to be verified. Oh, in some way. But I envision like if she was to come and let everybody know what happened, that means what we're insinuating, right? We'd have to consider it to be the truth as to what occurred. Reason for action. The case is now closed. Never, very rarely does it ever go like that, isn't it? Does it? They have to do this the hard way. They have to build the case and figure it out because wouldn't you know it, criminals aren't the most reliable people, especially the ones that are trying to get away with things that you're investigating. They're not very forthcoming. Although Daniel will try to make it look a little different. No matter what way, like I get such a kick out of him trying to convey how cooperative he is to this whole situation. It's just a misrepresentation in front of a camera as to his own ignorance, but he's trying to put that onto everybody else as though, it's really the truth. It's just an exercise in avoidance. They've never wanted to speak directly to anything, ever. First one to talk cuts the deal, Annette. Well, I don't know if that's going to be relevant here. Would have to think if someone was going to do that, there's different scenarios I guess could play out. I was going to say it would have happened already. It's hard to say because we don't know exactly where the RCMP are with what at any given time. The one thing that we can know for certain is that they're not buying Daniel's bullshit. They're not buying the scenario. Yeah, Lori. Well, they're both complicit because simply of the bullshit statements right now is our greatest indicator, is the obvious lies to any outsider of Malaya portraying this lie onto everybody else as though it's what happened and the kids are actually missing. Like, is there any it's almost like a cartoon-like indicator. She's in 1 minute, she's in front of a camera, stumbling over her words. The next, she's in a car, fucking wheeling it down the road with her mom, never to be seen again. On one hand, you can understand considering the amount of abuse, but on the next hand, you're left feeling a little bit taken that you've just been lied to, because you have been. Nobody would want to get caught for something like this. You can understand that, but you don't need to be putting yourself in that position. The majority of people, everybody doesn't need to be putting themselves in a position to relate and have to relate to a child killer or 2 child killers or 3 child killers. That's why they're here. That's why they're so desperate to have you understand them some way, just to get to know them a little bit. Oh, yeah, you take my word for it. All of this useless garbage information that they continue to take up in people's content streams. I don't know what you're trying to say, Just Jeannie. How can they live with this on their conscience? Who's they you're saying? Who are you expecting to step up and bring justice for Jack and Lily? That's not happening. They're all lying. Okay? It's the RCMP that will be bringing justice for Jack and Lily. Because everybody else in their lives didn't care about them enough to do the right thing. Namely, their very own mom, mom's boyfriend, and the boyfriend's boss, Janie. Anita says MBM has to know. I can't understand how she really is okay with where Jack and Lily are. Well, she's hoping that they're warm. I wonder if Malaya still hopes that Jack and Lily are warm. What a thing to say. What an odd, peculiar thing to say in front of a camera. So distant. What did I just say? Distancing. MBM has to know. I can't understand how she's really okay with where Jack and Lily are. Well, yeah. I would think that she has to know as well. Unless you're not going to sell me on that she doesn't know. She wasn't rattled. She wasn't straightforward and honest. She has been pushing that the kids are out without ever going out herself. None of it makes any fucking sense. And why would you get in front of the camera and relay a clearly untrue series of statements like you did? As though, well, you prioritize yourself in the statements over your kids. You're not the type of person. You're not the type of person to do, to not be out there when the kids aren't out there. It's a performance. That's because the kids weren't out there, honey. If you don't know what happened, how is it that you're describing it in any way that you are? 1 minute the kids were here, the next they're not? Just a Clapping Seal says, I think she knows, but whether she cares or not is questionable. That's a sad reality in that sense. Hey, Justin. That's evident. The lack of caring, don't ever feel like there's people out there that want to put all of the people asking questions about Malaya to shame in that sense. Everybody has every right to be outraged at her and her behavior throughout all of this. Your desire for privacy, you dumbass, went out the window when you called the RCMP. When you called 911, you got all of us. Oh, fuck, nothing to see here, everybody. Yeah, what's going on in Cleveland? 2 little girls. Oh my God, I'll have to go check it out. Jack and Lily were warm, now loved in heaven, finally happy to go lucky, not just go lucky kids. Well, I guess that's one way to look at it. Yeah, it's astonishing to me, Anita, that here's a situation where their mother, Jack and Lily's mother, has chosen to be silent in the face of such lies and deceit. If she was being gaslit, you think that she'd be a bit more critical with the information that she was given, wouldn't you? But no. Nothing struck her odd in the last 10 months. So I don't buy the claim when I sit back and think about it that maybe Daniel is putting her on, or maybe Daniel is keeping her in the dark or gaslighting her in a certain way. Unfortunately, it's a nice thought, but no. Yeah, what mother doesn't say a word when her 2 children are missing? Well, technically she said more than one word, Annette. Then she bailed. Uh-huh. I don't even, I can't even give her the benefit of the doubt and say that Malaya is traumatized. I'm not saying that she's not, but that trauma is directing her behavior here. That's so fucking ridiculous. She's in 100% control, including getting back at the perpetrators for this, should any of that be true. It's a strong indicator that she's complicit in it and that she's engaged in some sort of activity that's going to hold her responsible in this sense. And the fear of that is what's keeping her silent. There's never any need for silence in these situations. The opposite. Do you hear that, Cindy and Malaya? When your children are missing and supposedly you're a victim of the most heinous thing possible on earth, there's no reason for you to be silent at any point in time. You don't need to have a desire to gatekeep little trinkets of information to get yourself out of scenarios under the guise of of wanting to protect the integrity of somebody else's investigation. One, you're not part of the investigation. You're the subject of the investigation, Daniel. None of your fucking stories would indicate anything other than you guys being culpable in all of this. So content creators don't need to go back, and even people get off kilter and get manipulated and engaged with people who are actively trying to deceive them again, like we saw today with this Anita Johnson, or the getting to Mike. It includes in the background as well. There's always exceptions, but you've got to clear the exception and be 100% sure of your source. You can't tell me that you're 100% confident in the source at any point in time with these people, especially when you're filtering and asking for people. You have to expect to be manipulated, expect people to reach out and get you to act on their behalf by proxy. That's really the prime motive of any troll in a live chat. I used to do a lot of it myself. But I was the good kind of troll. I'm the white troll. If the kid's mother can't speak up and her family speaks volumes, Lori Green, if the kid's mother can't speak up and her family speaks volumes, in my opinion. I'm not sure if I know what you're saying. It speaks volumes if the mother can't speak up, it does. The family has said more than Malaya has. Anita, how can people do these awful, horrible things to beautiful, innocent children? It's sad that it seems that, I don't know what it is. There's so many families out there. I guess a combination of lots of things. Well, I think, Anita, that it has mostly to do with the socioeconomic factors in all of this primarily. It's what got them into it. Substance abuse. Along with their many other addictions. They probably found one another and started living out this fantasy life. You know, they're neither of them are motivated. These two didn't meet each other in school. They didn't meet at college. They didn't meet after class. But you mix poverty in with that, not being motivated, not caring. The only real interest that Daniel has in having a chick is just probably for sexual reasons. He's not looking for a healthy relationship in that sense. He's looking for other things to satisfy and, you know, satisfy that itch. I would have to say no, Fred. Why? Oh, you're talking about the people talking about if Daniel's using that chain to signal Malaya over how confident he is about maintaining the same narrative. I think that's probably looking into things a little much. If it does, it doesn't. But I would say in that case, it's just another way of Daniel. If Daniel's sending signals to Malaya about anything, it's an extension of the abuse that he was bestowing upon her up till she left, up to the day she left. There's not going to be any working together to try to get through this or fool the cops. You guys and your stories are non-existent. So you can only sit there and play quiet up until the time they put your ass on the stand. And then your silence can speak to a jury. It doesn't really enter my mind. I don't focus on that so much. I'm not sure where I heard that this morning. Whose video that was? I mean, who cares if he is trying to signal her with items of clothing? What do you think? What amazing thing do you think that he's trying to suggest to her? That, oh yeah, everything's just hunky-dory? We're really getting away with it? What, are you fucking kidding me? But yeah, the RCMP are bringing the charges against Daniel. Not Malaya. They don't have to rely on Malaya. She doesn't even have to appear, be named, or anything. Here's the information. Here's the facts. As Janie likes to point out. The facts of the case. Then we're going to fucking punish him. The good part. The DM and MBM chain of trust. We will see when that looking at 25 to life. The chain of trust. Fuck, dude. Oh, yeah. What? First of all, would you buy that with Patty's money? You can't fool any of you guys. How do you know it's not 24 karat gold? Well, because it's you, Daniel. You cheap son of a bitch. It's not very bling. It's sentimental. He just doesn't want to take it off. Fucking bronze looking thing. Oh, you think his, just a clapping seal. Don't even do that to me. You think his tap out shirt was. He's sending the communication. What's he gonna, what is he trying to tell Malaya? Oh, I'm gonna be that Danny that I was when you first met. In the first 2 weeks. Quite literally, when we first met. Oh, that's so ridiculous. I don't think, it's very effective. I'm not sure he's allowed to be contacting her with. Maybe it's something in his mind. I don't know. That's a little bit much for me. Oh, look, Daniel's wearing the same thing he is again. He's only got a couple of fucking zoot suits there. He's got that new, that we haven't seen that one for a while, that white suit he wore last time. Or the gray, or whatever you want to call it. He wore that one other time in an interview way back when. Same sweater. You should get a new one every time that you know you're going to be on camera. That way you don't have people fucking looking at you funny. Temu chain of trust. That's funny shit. Oh, what would Daniel be signaling Malaya? Oh, hey guys. Don't worry. I'm still strong. We're staying strong. I don't think so. Quite the opposite. The fact that she bought it for him at one time and he's wearing it on the outside, is that what you're accepting as a form of communication? Well, then I guess you have me. Maybe she gave him that tap out shirt too. I don't think that's all he's got to wear though. I don't think it's a form of what would be considered an extension of the abuse that he was putting her through to begin with. Now all of a sudden he's sending subliminal love messages to her. Oh, stay strong, baby. We're going to get through this. We're bonded by our lies. Nobody's going to catch us for unaliving your children. Don't worry. No, I don't think that they're on the same boat when it comes to that. Like it or not, she doesn't want to get caught for this. She doesn't want to be a party to any of the garbage that comes out of Janie and Daniel's fucking mouths. That's why she bailed. And Cindy provided safe harbor that day. You know, it's a good and a bad. It's fine. It's what it is. It's fine. I don't hold it against Cindy. She should have done that a long time ago. But she's not done. She should have pulled her out of there and driven her right to the RCMP and poked and prodded her to get the information out while she's still fresh. Break her down. But it's not necessary that she even admits to anything. By the way, she has the right to remain silent. She's preempting the Miranda rights. That should tell you a whole lot when it comes to what it is that she wants us to believe is going on. Like it or not, the first thing that has to come out of the investigators' mouths when you sit down with her is trying to figure out exactly what's going on, because Malaya, you called 911. You called us here because your kids went missing. So let's begin there. You think that the kids may have left the trailer? Why don't you explain that to me? And why does, maybe the fact that she thought the kids were possibly autistic was her own rationale in her mind as to why she didn't need or allegedly fell off the giving them adequate care, whatever that actually means. That's just me paraphrasing the allegations from the other guilty parties in all of this. Who knows if that's actually even a thing? Like, we only say it's a thing because it's portrayed to us that way, but we know better. If any negligence and neglect and abuse was going on in that house towards Jack and Lily, it was everybody's responsibility. Everybody is a party to that. It's not one person's responsibility to look after the children, especially when you recognize that they don't do what it was that they were doing anymore. So what, a 4 and a 6-year-old are left to take care of themselves while you watch, shaking your head? It's not even a moral thing. It's a legal thing. You're obligated, or else you become a party to it. And that's what they're really signaling and identifying in all of this. Like, does that come from stupidity? Does it come from a bit of truth from them? Like, do they actually really think that way? Or are they saying that because it's the bare minimum? Give a little, get a little. Because no matter what, they're trying to hide the greater issue there, the more private things. They're giving some up in order to maintain that hard protection. Lori, they did con Patty big time, but then Patty bought her a car after she knew this as well, which a lot think this was the impulse or the impetus to the kids disappearing. Could you imagine how Patty must feel now? I wouldn't. See, guys, be careful what we're associating to making people feel a certain way that led up to the kids disappearing. We're already talking about what led up to and the reasons why the kids are no longer around. It has everything to do with the physical abuse that was occurring.
Alright, let's do my messages. Why they come? My goodness. By the
See, I think, well, I don't think, shouldn't speculate. I'm just speculating, but we haven't seen Haley, but I think that's probably because she stepped out of the limelight. It sounded like she was coming to her senses in regards to the issue that she was actually having with what Malaya was doing, but more importantly, not doing in all of this. There's nobody out there that thinks Malaya is doing the right thing by staying silent at this point in time, especially in light of her kids going missing, especially in light with what she left and how she left the scenario with the RCMP. That's on you now, Cheryl. See, I think that pressure is a bit too much for Haley because she seemed a bit too logical to be buying any of this and turning around and wanting to represent Malaya. So it tells me Malaya's still hardline lying.
the way, this is a hint as well, Malaya. The jacket look familiar. So, anyways, people, the pieces are coming together, and sometimes it takes a detour. And by the way, from what I understand, there was no Meadow. Meadow had bent legs. She was undernourished. She was not in good shape, Malaya. So Logan and Janie want to make it sound like Malaya was all about Meadow and everything was so great. And I don't believe she was ever a good mother, by the way. She may have been a better mother
That's
at one
right.
time, Belinda, but I don't, I'm hearing things that are, leading me down a little bit of a different road here. Cindy, about your, one of your husbands, I believe it. I believe what I'm being told. And when I saw how Malaya,
huge search effort going on right now, but we've been pushing for an Amber Alert, which hasn't been issued. Not just that they could possibly be abducted, which it is a possibility that they could have been, but just an alert to let everyone know that they are missing.
know
We
that
had
they are
people
missing.
text me.
This is not her first rodeo when it comes to covering something up. I knew that the moment that I first saw her interview. Malaya is used to being quiet and keeping quiet.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but I don't disagree with Mike. I don't know what that means to him. But you can get used to or be around people who preferably don't like cops, who don't want to open up to police and things like this. This situation, no matter your history or your preferences, listen, Malaya should be an open book, not just publicly, but to the RCMP, and she's not. She's going with this hardline bullshit narrative lie. Still to this very day.
It's become part of her
I forgot
pattern.
what it's going to say there, actually.
She doesn't expect results when she speaks up. She's used to having things allegedly happen to her.
I was going to say, that's where I was going with that. Not making it a racial thing, but in many First Nations communities, there is an air of secrecy. But my point is what trumps that is the fact that there's kids at the center of this. This is far beyond an adult homicide or he said, she said, or a theft or a burglary. This is 2 missing and presumed dead children with the parents not fucking acting right. Not even going to entertain or care about the history of the types of people that they are, whether they're open or not. They're doing it on purpose. They're trying to get away with a fabricated situation here. Why the need for Malaya to lie? The answer to that is probably what happened has more to do with her, or she thinks that it has to do with her, and she's trying to avoid it altogether, and she just doesn't want to get anybody in trouble. All on the backs of the lives of her very own flesh and blood. There has to be some sort of abuse of substances involved in Malaya's life as well, that's contributed to her depressed and anxious mindset and her shitty fucking demeanor overall.
And not talking about it. Not making a big deal out of it, if you will. From what I was told, there was some major things happening. And there's, yeah. By the way, everything is a journey and everything's kind of temporary.
Including your belief in your sources, Mike. You got to drop those sources. What do you say, Michelle? Oh my God, yes. Walt, I have noticed lately with AB how similar JM and MBM personalities actually are, even though they're supposedly don't like each other. I think it's probably see it a certain way because of the level of deception. They're lying really about the same sort of thing. Literally, I think. You think many of us are here to believe that MBM and Cindy know exactly what happened to Jack and Lily? That's my problem, River Rat. Even Cindy. I couldn't stand by if my daughter was holding information. I'd be fucking out there talking on her behalf. Not on her behalf, but out against Daniel. Here's what I know, and I'm going to put that out in the public and you can chew on it. Where are my grandkids? Where are these 2 innocent children, motherfucker? That supersedes any sort of fucking relationship that I have with you. You think that I'm going to sit there and eat up all of your bullshit? Cowards. What else are they hiding? I think many of us on here believe that MBM and Cindy know exactly what happened to Jack and Lily. MBM's demeanor didn't seem to be holding back the desperation of not knowing, but rather resignation. Ooh, resignation is a good term there, Riverette. Thank you. You're right. It does appear to be like that. Even from the little pictures that we do have of her. And yeah, it's an accurate representation. You don't need more than those. Nobody's misunderstanding Malaya's role in all of this. The silence allows you to fill in that blank as to the reasons why. The reasons why she feels that she has something to do with whatever happened to Jack and Lily, and especially the cover-up afterwards. Why? Meadow had rickets. That's a lack of vitamin D. Holy shit, maybe that's what I have. Which doesn't allow calcium to be processed in the body. That makes the bones weak and it can be painful. How do you know she has rickets? I won't hold it against her. Janie saw those kids living in filth and did nothing. Well, of course, just have you seen where Janie was living? It was fucking worse. Nasty ass fucking RV. She's guilty of child neglect. She needs to be held accountable. She will, just Janie. Or she will. Mark my words. Yeah, I don't have children, says Ms. Queen, but even I know tummy time. What the hell is that? Walking, crawling, sitting up, holding behind the neck. Oh. Yeah, that's baby rules. I see what you're saying there, Miss Queen. Yeah, that's a good one. Good one to know is the holding of the head. You can't have a baby in the carrier all the time. That's true. Got to move around a little bit. It's awful to see anyone's legs like that, especially legs. It's awful to see anyone's legs like that, Anita says, especially a children. My God, that's a year of neglect and they weren't physically harming Meadow. Can you imagine Jack and Lily went through? What are you talking about, Anita? This rickets thing? Whose legs? Protecting the family that knew and failed to report it. Well, they reported something. I didn't say you did, Lori. Somebody else was saying rickets. I wanted to know why they know that or heard that.
Including my decisions. It was obvious from day one she was hiding something, and that doesn't require an analyst to realize that.
Saying that they weren't aware someone else let them know that they were missing, and it would just be nice if everyone could be alerted. We thought maybe that we found tracks, but it's still uncertain. It's been raining and they're probably soaking wet, but with the sun today, I'm hopeful that they are feeling warm.
Feeling warm.
We're all filled with pain and sorrow.
We? Who is we? Who are you including in this, by the way? She doesn't say I am filled with pain and sorrow.
Yeah, good point. Who do you think that she's referring to? Who is this we that she keeps talking about? Her and Daniel specifically, in my opinion. You think that there's footprints? Do you think that they came across footprints? Well, where and why? Somewhere? What about the footprints that should be on the property leading off? What about the scent trail? What about everything not piecing together? What about your story? Drifting in and out of sleep. You think that's an acceptable thing to say in a situation like this?
He says we. You know why? Because she needs to include herself in somebody else's pain. Because she does not necessarily feel any of it. She's a very numb person. And, of course, I have to go back into people's childhoods and recognize, where did the pattern begin? I believe she's been numbed. What was it, Malaya? Between the age of 2 and 6, allegedly? I don't demonize and I don't judge, meaning I look at things from every different angle that presents itself. So I don't say, she bad, he good. I don't do that. I examine everybody's statement, even when I don't want to. It's just something that happens. It's become part of my everyday pattern. and it helps me filter out the people who are, I filter people out by intentions, let's say, like that.
Because.
So when you say we, who are you talking about? Who are you including yourself with, Malaya? Let me make a guess. The same person who you got the warm part from. You include yourself with Belinda. Belinda's pain and sorrow. But at the time, Belinda wouldn't have called it pain and sorrow because she was not yet sure what happened to her grandkids. But you are revealing to us that pain and sorrow would be what she would be feeling, at least partially. Anger, of course, can come as well, at least partially.
You fucking guys. Are you, in my chat, you're talking about tummy time. When you say tummy time, are you referring to like when you blow on a baby's tummy and get them laughing? Is that what you're talking about, tummy time? Who's a Buddha?
We just want them found. We want them.
We? Who's we? Can you listen one more time, guys? I want to hear this again.
That they are feeling warm.
You see? She's now in Belinda mode.
We're all filled with pain and sorrow.
Oh, okay. Tummy time, you're saying, is when you put them on their tummy and let them roll around. Okay. Oh, in development, before walking and things like this. I see where you're going with all of that. I'm all fucked up. I see what you guys are saying. Milestones. You're talking about it because Meadow was delayed in her walking. I see what you're saying. Yeah, Norbeaster Jordan needs some tummy time. Well, that's why he's got all of those profiles on Facebook dating.
The we flows because she's thinking about what Belinda said.
Because we just want them found.
Yeah, just minimizing.
We want them home.
Again, we.
Yeah, tummy time would be
You as a mother.
part of the process and getting them motivated and used to being mobile and getting themselves around from A to B and having that desire to want to. Because it's a brand new child. They don't have that circuitry yet in their brains, do they? I know what you guys are saying now.
Why can't you tell us what you want? Why doesn't it flow? You should be saying, I want my children. I want Jack and Lily by name, not them. And yeah, I believe Cindy Murray told her to shut up after that. That's it, Missy. You're done.
Everyone loves them.
Everyone! Look at that! She cannot tell us that she loves Jack and Lily. She says everyone. I don't know, is this Patty, by the way? I have no idea. It could be, right?
Yeah, we pointed out an important spot because think about how desperate you imagine a mother would be in a situation where every minute counts. And you've got this idiot sitting here, Malaya, telling you about all of the things that she wished that were like an Amber Alert got put out, even though it didn't meet the criteria, but somehow it would have benefited this situation. How exactly? her talking about we and this distancing and talking about being filled with pain and sorrow. You know, mothers who are desperate talk directly to the camera and appeal to the potential kidnapper, the potential abductor, talking to the kids should they be in earshot, which is a common thing to do in these scenarios. You didn't choose to do any of that. You provided us with an excuse, a nonsensical story. Nothing's very clear after listening to Malaya. You're right, Fred. You don't think that the police are waiting for who talks first? So, no, they're not. DM already has shown his card. They're building the case. They're building the case against them. Of course, they know which way they need to go.
Anyway, anyhow, anywho.
They are definitely verbal, and they do have possible autism, but it's not extreme autism. It's just they have issues with school.
You're so stupid. First of all, you're talking about a junior kindergarten and a kindergarten having issues in school. If you're talking about a JK kindergarten in grade 1 having issues in school, then it has issues with meeting milestones and potential developmental delays. Now, the next question is, why are they developmentally delayed? Your first answer to all of that is possible autism, because the alternative to that would make you and make the world aware of your shortcomings as a parent. You're not there in their lives going through the motions, like tummy time, for example, people are talking about, that would set the kids up in order to meet those milestones. You're like treating them as free-range children and happy to have labels be put on them because you're ignorant to the fact that you're supposed to be working with children. Right. She is a stupid twit and neglected them. How dare you say that about kids who can't keep up in school as though they have homework and there's grades? So there's a lie, and it was a lie, by the way. But it's a little bit of insight as to why I think that she's choosing to opt for these kids being possibly autistic. Could you even imagine hey, this is my son, he's possibly Down syndrome. He's got all these possible things wrong with him. This is my kid who's got all of these things wrong with them. Possibly. Bullshit. It says everything about the parent. She bothers me. That really bothers me. This is the sort of person that Cheryl wants to champion. You need your head examined, you fucking idiot. What a scumbag bitch. Anything to keep this pretentious story going. Oh, the kids must have walked away.
Issues.
And they don't catch up with the other kids. I just want to remain hopeful. But there's always, in a mother's mind, you're always thinking the worst. Last night was one of the worst nights because I didn't have them in their beds.
Yeah, and of course. I don't need to remind you. I don't need to remind you. And thank you for your comments, people. Thank you especially for answering the questions. Thank you so much. When I look at any types of questions people ask who come new, then I am absolutely delighted.
All right, y'all. We're going to get out of here for this afternoon and be back here tonight for an evening stream, my friends. I appreciate you guys sticking it out for a couple hours this morning. Make sure you go back and check out the first live we did that got cut off. But yeah, so what was the moral of the story today? Never trust people that come up in your DMs claiming to be this and that. And yeah, Ninchi had a point. Yeah, Ninchi's video had a point, especially when it comes to this new fool, Anita Maxwell Johnson. Don't believe the hype. She emerged publicly after allegedly lurking and communicating anonymously. Claims to have driven Meadow, possibly a relative or witness, to a reserve when Malaya left Cindy's place. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Bullshit. Don't believe it, Mike. Thanks, Ninchi. Now everybody can get on with their lives. We'll listen to a little G-Funk before we get out of here, though. I'll see you guys a little bit later on tonight, so expect another live stream tonight, friends. I'll see you then. Ba-ba-ba-ba.